So what's the difference between insurance brokers and companies?
The major difference is that underwriters are the risk bearers.
Okay.
Underwriters are the risk bearers. Insurance brokers are just professional advisor or intermediary.
Okay.
So that's the major difference between the two entities within the insurance space.
So are there situations where the insurance companies deal directly with their clients without the brokers?
Yeah, it's a free market position. Some clients or customers or policyholders have the freedom or the liberty of going straight to any insurance companies to have their insurances in place.
Okay.
However, when you look at the advantages of dealing with an insurance broker, the first major advantage is that you have a professional advisor working for you on your insurance needs.
Okay.
And it doesn't add extra naira to your insurance expense. So you're enjoying the best of the two worlds. Professional advice on your insurance need on a day-to-day basis at no additional cost. Whereas if you are dealing directly with an insurance company, the tendency is that the insurance company has a large client base. So they are looking at you as an individual or an entity.
Okay.
So when you are dealing with a very difficult claim or a borderline case with your insurance company, okay, the leverage might not be there compared to when you are dealing with the insurance company using a broker.
Okay.
So those are the advantages of dealing with having your insurances handled by an insurance broker on your behalf. But there is no rule that says you must go through a broker or you cannot go directly to the insurance company. It's a free market.
Okay.
Such impact is an unforeseen or unthought of event that happened. The COVID-19 locked down the economy, so many industries were not operating, many businesses were shut down, people were locked down in their various houses because of the pandemic. Then towards the end of the year, around October, when we thought the economy is gradually opening up, we had the NSAS event that actually had a lot of impact, physical destruction of assets, both government-owned assets and private businesses. It's like it touched all sectors of our life. So it has a lot of impact on the insurance industry in the sense that the claims emanating from this event, some are still on, being collected. We have hoodlums hijacking the peaceful protest, vandalizing business premises, shopping malls were affected, and some of these assets, some were covered by insurance contract, some were not insured at all. So individuals will now need to reach out, or government entities will now need to reach out into their pockets to make good these losses. But for those that were insured, how adequate were they insured? Majority of business owners will just put an insurance coverage in place that might not be adequate. I can insure my vehicle that is worth 15 million for 5 million because I'm being mindful of my premium outlay. Whereas I ought to insure for 15 million, but because I'm watching my cost, I decided to underinsure. So in the event of a claim too, I will be affected negatively because the penalty for underinsurance will now come into. So some businesses, even though they are insured, but they are not adequately insured. So, but the volume of claims being treated in the Nigerian market now, insurance market now, runs into billions. Both government-owned assets and private businesses, and even individuals that were affected by the event. And if you look at the COVID-19, some corporate customers or clients having insurance contracts in place are saying, we need to claim for business interruption. because we were locked down for so long. Our expectation of making so much profit were not achieved because we are locked down. We want to make a claim under our insurance contract, but insurance is a contract, and all the terms and conditions are well laid out. I don't think underwriters envisaged or have it as part of their coverage for this epidemic-related lockdown. So it has been interesting, but the impact will take some years to clear off, definitely, when it comes to the claims volume that the underwriters or the insurance market will have to pay out at the end of the day. And equally on the side of the brokers too, a lot of consultation is going on. Your clients that are having claims, the volume of support regarding claims documentation, getting the vendors to provide repairs estimate, all this day-to-day support for our clients is on the high side too. So it has been a very active period, but it wasn't envisaged at all.
Okay, you mentioned that there are some assets that are usually underinsured. So in that situation, is the owner of the asset entitled to any form of claim at all?
Yes. If you have an insurance contract in place, the adequacy will be the next level. Okay, I have a property insurance in place, fire and special perils for argument's sake on my building. Now, I know that the cost of reinstating or rebuilding that asset in the event of a total loss, let's say fire incident, is 150 million. But because I'm being mindful, or I've been saying, it won't happen to me, let me just do something as insurance on ground. And I said, okay, let me insure for 50 million. And surprisingly, when one fails to do it right, that something will go wrong. You might be insuring over the years adequately, insuring your asset adequately, carrying out re-evaluation exercise on a maybe 3 years basis. And the time will come that either the management or business owner or the private individual will say, I've been insuring this thing, I've just been wasting money, in quote. And the year that one decides to now stream down the value of the insurance on the asset, let's say from 150 million to 50 million, that's when something ugly will happen. It has happened severally over the years. It's when you change your coverage on your motor insurance from comprehensive, because you've been insuring for the past 5 years and nothing has happened. My broker, make it third party. At that year, less than 3 months, something ugly will happen. A vehicle will be involved in a major accident, maybe a loan accident that a third party is not responsible for, and there is no recourse under your third party insurance coverage. So the penalty, there's always a penalty for underinsurance. There's always a penalty. So my advice is that do it right. Using your broker will negotiate a right coverage for you at the right price. Insuring adequately doesn't necessarily mean you are wasting premium or you are paying excessively. But at the time of claim, that's when the importance of having an appropriate and adequate insurance coverage in place will come to the fore. So, but there's always a penalty. If you insure your asset that's worth 150 million and a total loss should happen, that 50 million, you won't even get up to 50 million. Because penalty will now apply on that 50 million. Because your asset is worth 150, but you insure for 50, so it will be prorated again. So at the end of the day, you might be getting close to maybe 30 million, which might not be adequate to fix the damage.
Okay. There are always issues with claim settlements, and I know most companies and organizations affected by the mass destruction, they are actually impatient. They want to get their money on time. How well is the insurance company responding to claim settlements during this period?
Claim settlement actually claims, the essence of buying insurance in the first place is knowing that something will go wrong and that you need to get financial indemnity or compensation from your insurance companies. That's the essence. If we know that nothing will go wrong, it's of no use having insurance in place. But it's because of the fortuitous nature of loss or event that could make us to have negative impact on our business operation, on our asset, and things like that. So insurance claims processing or management is a key selling point to the general public, to the policyholders. How well, how fast, and how fair are the offers that we are giving to our clients when they are presenting their claims. So, to me, it takes two to tango. The impression out there is that insurance companies do not pay claim, or that when they pay claim, if the claim is not fair enough, the clients are shortchanged. So, but it takes two to tango. Insurance companies are in business not as Father Christmas. So, equally, the insured too is buying that contract knowing that if anything should go wrong, there's another party that will compensate for the loss. And that's where the two parties must work hand in hand, and that's where the broker or a professional advisor comes in handy to provide necessary guidance to the client. Now, the complaint usually comes from the insured saying, insurance company, they are not forthcoming. I've presented my claim for the past 3 months. I've not gotten my offer. But if you drill down to have a one-on-one engagement with such an aggrieved client, you'll find out that it's either something is missing from the part of the insured. I'm not holding fault for the insurance side. I will equally talk about the insurance side too. Okay. The insured maybe has to submit certain key documents for the underwriters to adjust the claim and settle it, or the adjuster, the appointed loss adjusters, to settle and work on the claim and get it settled as quickly as possible. Sometimes the client will say, I'm out of Lagos or I'm out of the country. Okay, the vendor that is preparing the repairs estimate is at the site. When they come back, we will provide you with the required documents. So many delays too on the part of the insured. But they don't talk about that when the issues are being discussed in the general public. No insured will say, I'm the one that caused this delay because I reported my claim a month after the event. There are delayed notifications. Sometimes I'm currently outside the country. When I come back, I will provide you with the necessary supporting document. The trip takes 1 month. That makes it 2 months. Before you know it, it's 3 months, and the client, immediately that the client now drops the document, the required document, we start counting that my claim has been on for the past 3 months. What has been happening? You know, that's the way. Equally from the side of the underwriters too, or the brokers, how timely do we give our request out? How timely do we tell the client or the broker that, in addition to what you have submitted earlier, we need additional document from you, or we need to come over to your site to come and have a post-loss inspection. Give us audience or give us an appointment for us to visit your site and carry out this on-the-spot assessment of your losses. So it takes two to tango. But the most important thing is that the more awareness and education that we're able to give out to the insuring public, the better for the industry. So that negative perception that insurance is 419, they don't pay claims, we gradually phase out. And when claims are settled too, insurance companies should make noise about it. We should blow our trumpet. Let people know that insurance actually settles claims. Because truly, insurance companies within the Nigerian space do settle claims. And if you've been going through the report of many insurance companies highlighting the claims profile or the amount of claims that they paid on an annual basis, yeah, it has been increasing. It runs into billions. So, but we don't make noise about it. You know, we look at it as it's not professional to start talking that we've settled this claim, see our check that we are using to settle this claim. But I think once in a while, there's a need to publicize it. Okay. Let's publicize the good side of insurance industry.
Okay. Between last year and this year, a lot of people lost their jobs. Are there policies that cater to their needs during this period?
Yes. There's lots of job insurance cover, though it's of recent development in the Nigerian market. It's not an old insurance product. I think maybe 5 years back now, some insurance companies have come up with lots of job insurance products that takes care of the loss of income following loss of job for maybe a particular period. It's not an open-ended coverage, maybe 6 months coverage, they will pay you, but there's a waiting period too. You have to get the policy running for a certain number of months or year before you can make a claim.
Okay.
That's insurance. So that it's not that you know that I will soon be asked to go. Then let me quickly buy this insurance. You know, the insurance policy must run for a certain period before you can have access to the benefits payable on that. But there's lots of job insurance coverage in the business.
So as a result of the pandemic, are there new policies coming up?
Wow. You know, insurance is about spread of risk. And you need primary insurance company actually requires support from other insurance companies, which we refer to as reinsurers.
Okay.
Now, it's a global event, and underwriters worldwide are looking at this new trend now, that epidemic or event of this catastrophic nature, and we have an insurance policy in place. But insurance is an international business. You know, it's a global business. And one cannot just stand alone and say, this is the way I want to come up with a pandemic-related policy. You know, it has to be something that the likes of Lloyd's, the insurance market in Europe, will come up with this particular specimen that will meet the need of the global need of international market. So for Nigerian market, insurance companies and clients are saying, I want to make claim for loss of profit due to pandemic lockdown. Now, there wasn't any product like that before, but I believe that underwriters globally are facing the same request from their clients. And this will likely lead to the development of new line of products. But pre-COVID-19, there wasn't any product like that caters for pandemic-related events. But with the lessons learned now, there's need for insurance industry to start looking at possibility of developing new products that will cater for this type of event. And it will be a global design. It's not something that is just Nigerian-based or African-based. It has to be a global product design process. That's my belief that in the nearest future, it's will come up.
Okay, many small businesses during the massive destruction last year were affected, and a lot of them did not take up any insurance policy to cushion the effects that destruction. What advice do you have for them?
Well, to me, for small scale business operators or owners, is a bitter lesson, but the best thing to do going forward is what lessons have we learned from this experience. Now, it might be tough to raise funds to start again, and even to raise funds to start again might not be at that same pace or volume that one has been operating before the NSAS event. So it's a bitter lesson, but the best way out is to have an insurance risk transfer template on ground, and it doesn't cost much. For a small business owner, the premium might even be less than what you use for fueling the generator in a week or in a month. The premium that you are going to pay for the year might even be less than what you use to fuel the generator, the diesel supply, for a week. Much more less than that, because it's a micro insurance product. The price sensitivity is taken into consideration when designing that line of business for the small business owners. So they can reach out. It might be confusing, because if you tell someone that for this asset of, let's say for argument's sake, 50 million, you are going to pay 25,000 or 10,000 or 15,000. It looks like a magic. That is it possible in a year, 15,000? But if they work with a professional advisor, all these myths surrounding insurance will be cleared. And equally, they will have the room to concentrate primarily on their business. Insurance-related issues, risk management-related issues is handed over to their broker on a day-to-day basis. So they have the time to concentrate on their business, and when there's a claim, their broker is there to provide the necessary support in getting the claim settled on time. So my advice is that they should do insurance, proper insurance. There's no need having inadequate insurance coverage, because at the end of the day, it won't meet up with your expectation when there's a loss. So my advice is that they should take up insurance as quickly as possible, working with professionals to give them the day-to-day support so that they can have time for their own primary business issues. Thank you.
Okay. The pandemic started during a period when the insurance industry was going through recapitalization. Has this been delayed in any way? What has been the impact of the pandemic on the recapitalization process?
Yes. Really, the recapitalization has been on for some time. You know, there have been so many modifications in the recapitalization process within the Nigerian insurance market. COVID-19, during that lockdown, COVID-19 actually made it imperative for the regulator to say, okay, because of this event, we are going to extend the timeline for underwriters or insurance companies to comply fully with the new capital base. But as we speak now, new development are happening within that space, saying that there's a court injunction